Richard Carmichael, a wealthy and influential businessman, strode confidently into the grand lobby of the Monarch Hotel, his polished leather shoes clicking against the marble floors. The hotel was the epitome of luxury, with crystal chandeliers, plush furnishings, and staff that catered to the elite. Richard fit right in, at least he thought he did. Standing behind the front desk was Sarah Thompson, a young black receptionist with a calm demeanor and a quiet strength that carried her through even the toughest days. She greeted every guest with the same warm smile, though she knew not all of them deserved it. Richard's sharp eyes scanned the lobby, taking in the guests, the staff, and finally landing on Sarah. He approached the desk, his towering presence demanding attention. Sarah looked up, her professional smile unwavering. "Good afternoon, Mr. Carmichael," she said politely. "How may I assist you today?" Richard leaned against the counter, his tone dripping with condescension. "Assist me? Well, I'd like to think you can, but I've heard some interesting things about you." Sarah tilted her head slightly. "Interesting things?" "Yes," he said, his voice louder now, drawing the attention of nearby guests. "I've heard you're quite the singer. Is that true?" Sarah hesitated. Singing was something she loved, something deeply personal, but she wasn't sure where this was going. "I do sing," she admitted cautiously. "Wonderful!" Richard exclaimed, clapping his hands mockingly. "Why don't you sing something for us? Right here, right now. Let's see if the rumors are true." The room grew quiet. Staff paused in their tasks, guests turned to watch, and Sarah felt every pair of eyes on her. She could sense the smug satisfaction radiating from Richard, his tone making it clear this wasn't a genuine request. It was a challenge, a spectacle he wanted to create for his own amusement. For a moment, Sarah considered refusing. She wasn't there to entertain him, and she didn't owe him anything. But then she thought about her mother, who had always told her to never let anyone diminish her. "Let them see your light," her mother used to say. Taking a deep breath, Sarah straightened her shoulders. "All right, Mr. Carmichael," she said, her voice steady despite the storm of emotions inside her. "But I hope you're ready for what you're about to hear." Richard smirked, clearly believing he had the upper hand. He gestured dramatically for her to begin. Sarah closed her eyes, blocking out the stares and whispers, and began to sing. Her voice started soft, delicate, like the first notes of a sunrise. The melody was a soulful ballad, a song her mother used to sing to her when times were hard. The room fell into a hush, the sound of her voice weaving through the air like a spell. As the song progressed, her voice grew stronger, filled with raw emotion and power. It was a voice that spoke of struggle and triumph, of pain and resilience. The guests were transfixed. A couple near the lobby's fireplace paused their conversation, their eyes wide with awe. The bellhop froze mid-step, the luggage he was carrying forgotten. Even the bartender, who had been clinking glasses just moments before, stopped to listen. Richard's smirk slowly faded, replaced by an expression of disbelief. He had expected something amateurish, something he could laugh at, but what he was hearing was nothing short of extraordinary. As Sarah reached the crescendo, the power of her voice filled every corner of the lobby. It was a voice that couldn't be ignored, a voice that demanded respect. When the final note faded, there was silence, a moment of stunned stillness, before the room erupted into applause. Tears glistened in the eyes of some of the guests, and even the staff who had seen Sarah day after day were blown away by the sheer magnitude of her talent. Richard stood frozen, his usual confidence stripped away. He opened his mouth to speak, but for the first time words failed him. "You didn't expect that, did you?" Sarah said softly, her gaze steady. Richard cleared his throat, struggling to regain his composure. "That was incredible," he said, his voice lacking its usual arrogance. "I had no idea." "Maybe next time," Sarah replied, "you'll think twice before judging someone based on how they look or where they work." Her words hung in the air, a lesson delivered with quiet dignity. In the days that followed, the moment in the lobby became the talk of the hotel. A guest who had recorded Sarah's performance posted it online, and the video quickly went viral. Offers began pouring in from talent agents and producers who recognized the star quality in Sarah's voice. Meanwhile, Richard found himself reflecting on his actions. He realized how often he had dismissed people based on surface-level assumptions. Humbled by the experience, he began to make changes, supporting programs that uplifted underprivileged artists and advocating for opportunities for those often overlooked. Months later, Sarah stood on a grand stage, singing to an audience of thousands. In the front row sat Richard, clapping enthusiastically. His transformation was far from complete, but that moment in the lobby had planted a seed of change in him. As Sarah's voice soared, captivating everyone in the audience, the message was clear. Talent knows no boundaries, and everyone deserves a chance to shine. Smiling at her reflection in the mirror, she whispers to herself, "Thank you, Mom," as the screen fades to black, leaving the audience inspired and moved. Like, comment, and share for more inspiring stories.